What if I told you that the most valuable thing Disney owns is a fictional orphan who lived under the stairs? Not a studio, not a streaming platform, not a theme park. A story, a character, a universe people refuse to stop living inside. That's the secret hiding inside a $300 billion question. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the people who built Hollywood are slowly losing it, who's actually winning, and the one brutal truth about the entertainment business that nobody talks about. Stay with me, because the math at the end of this will genuinely break your brain. The price tag. Let's start where most fantasies die. The bill. 5 studios run Hollywood. Disney, Universal, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Paramount, Sony Pictures. Disney bought Fox for $71 billion. AT&T sold Warner Brothers to Discovery for $43 billion. Amazon grabbed MGM, 4,000 Films, James Bond included, for $8.5 billion. Sony Pictures sits at roughly $30 billion. Add them up conservatively, you're looking at $250 to $300 billion just to own the studios, before you've greenlit a single film, before you've paid a single actor, before you've bought a single billboard. That's more than the GDP of most countries on Earth. And here's your first what? Moment. The studios that made every Marvel film, every Harry Potter film, every Fast and Furious film, most of them are barely profitable. The illusion of box office. The global box office hit $30 billion in 2024. Sounds enormous, right? It isn't. Not really. Here's why. Studios only keep about 50% of every ticket sold. Theaters take the rest. So that $30 billion becomes $15 billion before a single cost is paid. Then comes production. Then marketing. Then distribution. Here's the part that will genuinely stop you mid-scroll. Marketing costs for a major film often exceed the cost of making it. You spend $200 million building the movie. Then $250 million telling people it exists. Then you hope enough people care. Disney made $5.56 billion at the global box office in 2024. The first studio since the pandemic to cross $5 billion. Impressive, yes. But Disney's total company revenue that year, $91.3 billion. The difference between $5.5 billion and $91 billion tells you everything you need to know. Box office is the billboard. It's not the business, the real machine. So where does the money actually come from? Streaming, licensing, merchandise, theme parks, TV rights, video games, toy deals, soundtrack albums, hotel rooms themed around fictional characters. Disney's parks alone generate over $30 billion in annual revenue. $30 billion from rides, food, and hotel rooms built around stories. That single division, just one part of one studio, generates more money than the entire North American box office. Think about that for a second. And now think about this. Disney Plus launched in 2019. It took 5 full years to turn a profit on streaming. 5 years of burning billions to fund a platform that hadn't paid back yet, while simultaneously running a movie business, a TV business, and a theme park empire. That's your second what? Moment. The most powerful entertainment company in the world spent 5 years losing money on the future. The franchise truth. Here's the big idea. The thing this entire video is really about. Franchises are more valuable than movies. A movie makes money once, maybe twice if the sequel lands. A franchise makes money forever. Marvel didn't just make films, it built an ecosystem, 30+ interconnected movies where each one sold the next, where every character drove merchandise, where the universe itself became the product. A kid who watches Iron Man at age 8, buys an Avengers toy at 9, a Halloween costume at 10, a theme park ticket at 14, a Disney Plus subscription at 22. One story, decades of revenue. Star Wars has generated over $70 billion in merchandise sales alone, separate from every ticket ever sold. Harry Potter's Wizarding World has become a $25 billion franchise. Batman, across every studio iteration, has generated tens of billions across films, games, comics, and merchandise since the 1980s. Sequels accounted for 9 of the top 10 highest-grossing films of 2024. 9 out of 10. The industry didn't evolve toward franchises by accident. studios discovered that pre-sold stories, characters audiences already love, are the only thing that reliably justifies spending $200 million before a single ticket sells. The Netflix problem. Open loop. So if you owned every major studio, you'd control every major franchise. That should be enough to dominate, right? Here's your third, wait, what? Moment. Netflix is forecasting $43 to $44 billion in revenue for 2025. Netflix, which owns no theme parks, no merchandising empire, no century-old film library, is on track to generate more streaming revenue than Disney and Warner Brothers combined. Margins are razor thin. Licensing, merchandise, parks, TV rights, another $15 to $20 billion. Gross revenue across the whole empire, $80 to $100 billion annually. Now the costs. Disney's advertising spend alone hit $6.1 billion in 2024. Just advertising. Multiply that across 5 studios. Add content production for hundreds of films and shows per year. Add A-list talent. Add debt service on $250 to $300 billion in acquisition financing. At even modest interest rates, you're servicing $12 to $15 billion in debt every year. Net margin in a genuinely good year, 10 to 20%. On $90 billion in revenue, that's $9 to $18 billion in annual profit. Monthly, up to $1.5 billion. Daily, up to $49 million. Hourly, up to $2 million. Per minute, $34,000 while you sleep. But here's the thing, nobody shows you in the fantasy version. Your profit margin and your debt service are roughly the same number. One bad year, a writer's strike like 2023, a pandemic, a string of expensive flops, and the math inverts immediately. This is exactly what happened to the people who built these studios in the first place. The ending. The graveyard of Hollywood is full of people who understood the upside and underestimated everything else. Studios that didn't build universes either merged, got acquired, or quietly shrank. Because in this business, a great movie is a product, a great franchise is a religion. Marvel is a religion. Star Wars is a religion. The wizarding world is a religion. Batman has been a religion since before most people watching this were born. And here's what owning every studio really means. You don't own movies. You own the stories that people cannot imagine living without. The ones they dress their children in. The ones they wait in line for at theme parks. The ones they rewatch when the world feels like too much. The business of Hollywood has never been about entertainment. It's always been about belonging. The studios that survive aren't selling tickets. They're selling a place to exist inside a story. The question isn't whether the math works. The question is whether you can build something people need so badly. They'd never let it go. Drop a comment. Which franchise would you bet $300 billion on? Marvel, Star Wars, or Harry Potter?